How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be checking out a video called Food in America compared to the UK. Why is it so different? So, the original channel is by Dr. Living Good. There will be a link down in the description section for that. So make sure you go check that out. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to check this out.
Did you know that if you were to buy certain food ingredients at a grocery store in the United Kingdom, in Europe, and in America, same brand, same type of chip, a packaged good, you can buy the exact same brand of food and the ingredient labels will be completely different.
Yep.
I believe this is one of the main reasons why the United States is so sick. What I'm about to show you of what we allow into our products compared to what is happening in other parts of the world is shocking. And it's kind of shameful for the government regulation or lack thereof that goes into this and the foods you're about to see of what is making us so sick in America, leading the way in chronic disease. So this is one of the things that really opened my eyes.
Yeah, so what he's saying is true because I've had people send me stuff from other countries and I'll do a taste test comparison on the food from the other countries versus the exact same product here. And there's definitely a difference in the ingredients. There's a difference in the taste, texture, flavor. I guess that would be the same as taste. But anyways, go check them out. One's like a Toblerone taste test. One's like Dutch Doritos. I can't remember. There's a few different ones though. If you're interested, go check them out.
To how food companies, especially in America, are just exploiting us. I've spent years investigating this, and the difference between European and American food and the products,
night and day.
And what I found that I'm about to show you, it disgusted me. So back in 2012, I went to the London Olympics. I got the privilege to be a Olympic team doctor and support the athletes leading up to it for the wrestling team and weightlifting team, and got to be at the Olympic House and see many of them win medals, and it's a fantastic experience. And Nurse Living Good, my wife, got to go with me, and we raised money for these athletes to help support them. It's amazing how little support some of the athletes don't get. But while I was over there, I got to experience European food, and I noticed there was a big difference on some simple foods in a convenience store, in a grocery store, compared to the ones back in America.
Huh.
So right now we're going to break down some of the pictures, comparing them from a before or after. Now, this resource I came across with Food Babe, who does a fantastic job of putting them side by side, but it's the exact same thing that I saw and confirmed when I was over there at the Olympics, looking at these companies like Kraft Heinz, Kellogg's, Pepsi Company, Quaker. They sell safer, better products overseas while making inferior versions right here in America.
I believe it too because all the stuff that I tasted from Europe did taste better to me. It really did. Skittles. That was another one that we did, was a Skittles from Norway versus Skittles from America. Go check that out. But there is a difference for sure.
It to Americans. The evidence that you're about to see runs the gamut from fast food places to boxed cake mixes to cereals to candies, even oatmeal. You can't escape it. So this is what set me down this path of calling out big food industries, calling out big pharma industries, but leading you guys to make food simple. And I've never looked back of trying to figure out what's causing us to be so sick instead of waiting for people to get sick or exploiting sick people like big pharma and big food has done. Check these out. Here are 6 products.
There's a lot of sickness here. A lot of people just don't feel good. A lot of people are tired and unmotivated, and it's probably because of the food, like you're saying.
That are completely different overseas than they are in America. Let's start with the big one. McDonald's French fries.
Yep.
They make their iconic French fries in the UK with a few simple ingredients. Potatoes, oil, dextrose, salt. But in the US, completely different label. They're made with natural beef flavor, they're made with sodium, they're made with pyrophosphate,
Lots of
and they are
stuff.
fried in oil laced with anti-foaming agents. That's the main ingredient in silly putty. But why is it ending up in our food?
Jeez.
They've somehow figured out to cook their fries without all these extra ingredients overseas, but why not here? Begs the question. Second one to look at, Quaker Oats. These instant oat packets. Did you know Quaker Oats strawberries and cream?
Not trying to correct him, but it's Quaker Oats.
0 strawberries. In the U.S., Quaker mimics the look and the taste of real strawberries, and what they use is flavored and colored fruit pieces. They're comprised of dehydrated apples, and then they use artificial strawberry flavoring, citric acid, and artificial dye, red number 40, which would cause concentration issues. It's total craziness.
Wow.
It's not even
strawberries. I knew there was something wrong with it. It tastes good, but I knew there was something up with it.
strawberry. Meanwhile, in the UK, Quaker doesn't even attempt to sell that garbage. It doesn't make any products like that. The closest counterpart that it has is a product called Oat So Simple that has real strawberries in it, and it's light years ahead of the popular US version that's made with all those toxic artificial dyes and artificial colorings.
Jeez.
Number 3 is Mountain Dew. Now, none of these foods are healthy. I don't advise eating them. And some of you can just save the comment of like, well, I just shouldn't eat them anyway. But I'm just comparing how are they approved overseas. And here we're allowed to put all this garbage in there. I mean, you pick up a bottle of Mountain Dew in the UK, and you'll find that it gets its bright yellow color simply from beta carotene. That's a natural color derived from carrots.
Because the Dutch made the carrots orange.
Other plants.
There's orange juice.
Meanwhile, Pepsi, who makes Mountain Dew, sells a very different version of Mountain Dew in America. Here in the States, instead of using natural colors to give it that bright popping look, Mountain Dew is artificially colored with a petroleum-based dye called yellow number 5. Major problems with reproductive issues and allergens with that. Now, artificial dyes are common in America, but that doesn't make them okay to eat. They've been linked to several health issues, like I just explained, as well as they're known carcinogens, some of them. They're certainly not as safe as beta carotene, but Mountain Dew, that story gets worse. The U.S. version of Mountain Dew also contains brominated vegetable oil, BVO.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is, but that's definitely in there, and I've heard about that not being good. I don't drink Mountain Dew very rarely will I drink Mountain Dew.
And that ingredient is banned in Europe. Way back in 2014, Pepsi said, okay, we're going to do the right thing. We're going to remove BVO from all the American drinks following a real successful petition that was put on.
And what happened?
But they still have not removed it from Mountain Dew. Nearly, this many years later. They continue to sell the BVO-free version in other countries, and they allow us to stay sick and toxic. Number 4, Heinz ketchup. The kind you're going to find in almost every restaurant in America. Heinz ketchup is GMO-free in the United Kingdom, but full of genetically modified organisms and high fructose corn syrup in the United States.
It don't even look the same. Look how bright red the American version is compared to the European version, UK version.
Along with lab-produced natural flavorings, which not all of them are bad, but from a company like this, they're bad. And it helps create an addiction to the product. Think of that the next time you're dipping your fries and you can't stop eating that ketchup. Now, Heinz is attempting to make a simply Heinz version ketchup in the United States with natural flavorings and cleaner ingredients. Okay. Why don't they just make the same one that they use over in the UK as their regular ketchup? There's no need for all the heavy processing, but they want to get you more addicted to it, so you buy more of it. It's a problem. Number 5, Doritos. Now, both versions of Doritos are horrible. The American Doritos are covered in artificial dyes. They're all made from petroleum, the red number 40, the blue number 1, the yellow number 5, super toxic. The dyes have been found to be contaminated with carcinogens, such as benzidine. Benzenes can create some really ugly blood cancers if overconsumed. In the UK, these dyes require a warning label that they may have adverse effects on the activity and attention in children, let alone other side effects. So no company wants to put that on their product because people won't buy it, so they just don't use the artificial dyes. Instead, they simply use things like paprika extract and annatto in order to get the flavoring. The Doritos in the UK are also non-genetically modified, while the American versions are made up of GMO corn.
I've had those ones from the Netherlands, at least. It's probably the same thing as the UK. I think they almost taste better. There's not a lot of difference, but I think they almost taste better. than the American versions. So if they can do it there, why can't they do it here, right?
Contaminated with glyphosate, that herbicide, and then laced with all these chemicals. Finally, number 6, Frosted Flakes. The jingle, the
Frosted Flakes.
the mighty tiger. I mean, I ate them as a kid. I get it.
I don't know what he's singing. I've never heard that song before.
Nutritional value going on here. At first glance, the Frosted Flakes in the United States and the UK, they look nearly identical, but there's one big difference. There's a preservative in the US version called BHT. Now, this is important because there's a lot of controversial research linking BHT to cancer. And it's believed to also be an endocrine disruptor, which means it's going to mess with your hormones, men and women. And it's not even permitted in cereals in Europe.
Frosties.
So Kellogg's reformulated their cereals so that they can legally sell them overseas. And then following a petition to get the BHT out of it, Kellogg's removed it from several brands like Rice Krispies, but it still uses it several years later in the Frosted Flakes still, despite selling it BHT free in other parts of the world.
Then why can't they do it
makes
here?
no sense. Why don't these companies just sell the same safer products everywhere? I'll tell you why. Europe takes a precautionary principle approach towards food additives that are potentially risky. They ban or they add warning labels to these additives for their people. The U.S. takes the opposite approach. It doesn't remove the additives from our food supply until they have been proven to be dangerous. And that can take years and a lot of red tape to get approved.
And a lot of sick people.
So it literally means you're the lab rat. Americans are the lab rat. And the U.S. government allows food companies to largely police itself, deciding which ingredients they're going to use, which chemicals they're going to use, which additives they're going to use, which ones are safe to add to their own products. That clearly isn't a wise approach.
No.
Because if a company can get away with a cheaper ingredient, they're going to do it. Given a choice, they're always going to opt for the cheaper flavor enhancer, the cheaper color additive, the cheaper preservative, the cheaper genetically modified organism ingredient. Even if these cheap
They don't care about the safety. They just care about making that dollar.
alternatives have negative health impacts, they're going to choose that route for the sake of profit over people.
Sucks.
Truth is that no one's watching out for us. No one's going to take better care of you and your family's health than you. When they tell you that they know their processed foods are safe, they're telling you a lie. So I've dedicated a big part of my teachings and my life towards educating people on the deceptiveness of, one, big pharma and drugs and waiting to get sick and covering them up and side effects, and big food and all the garbage that ends up in our unreal food, and help them make food simple. So I put several chapters in my Amazon best-selling book, Make Food Simple.
Go check it out,
because
guys.
it's a subject that there's a lot more that you need to know about, to watch out for, to learn how to read labels. The food industry doesn't care about your health. It's your responsibility to do it. Below I put a link that you can grab a free copy of this book. You just cover the shipping. I'll get it to you.
Well,
However, I also took you to the grocery store to start teaching you how to understand these. I started in the produce area to find some real secret gems on how to
all right, so he's just talking about his book. If you want to check that out, there will be a link to the original video in the description section down below. Hit like, hit subscribe. Let me know what you think about this, and have a super fun, awesome day. All right, catch you guys in the next one. Bye.